Heyo! How are you doing today? I'm Rufin, and I couldn't come up with a good way to start this video, so I'll just get to the point. What is this masterpiece that you've probably forgot about?
Dreams, your vast, vibrant, sublime universe of possibilities. Let's start dreaming.
Media Molecule is a video game company based in Guildford, United Kingdom, and was founded on the 4th of January 2006. Prior to the company's formation, the founders made a game called Ragdoll Kung Fu when they worked for a different company called Lionhead Studios. They left in 2005 and began working on a new game called Craft World and pitched it to Sony. The pitch was supposed to be a 30-minute session, but it went on for 3 hours. Sony were interested and decided to fund the game's development for 6 months. When developers got funding from Sony, they founded the company Media Molecule and started pre-production of the game. Later during development, the game turned into something else, and Media Molecule had signed a deal with Sony. Sony were given the ownership of the intellectual property of the game, and it would be a PlayStation exclusive. This new game became LittleBigPlanet and was announced on the 7th of March 2007. And then it was finally released on the 27th of October 2008 as a PlayStation 3 exclusive. It was a great game. It's a 2D platformer with 3D models, so it's more of a 2.5D platformer. It had great charm. You play as a plushie called Sackboy, or Sackgirl, if you're a girl. You can customize them to your liking. The game also had Stephen Fry as the narrator for the game.
There's something so camp about modern German though, you know what they call a mobile phone? It's just so typically
Handy.
camp. Mein Handy. Oh, wo ist mein Handy? Ich habe mein Handy verloren. Oh, that's my Handy.
Are you hosting the BAFTAs this year?
I did not know.
What made the game so great is that it allows you to make your own levels and upload it online, allowing people to play them. There were a lot of great levels made by the community. The game got great reviews, and rightfully so. The game was really good that 2 years later, Media Molecule were bought by Sony. And then they made a sequel that was released on the 18th of January 2011. LittleBigPlanet 2 was a huge improvement. They added in more tools for people to use. These new tools allowed people to make more impressive levels, and oh boy, people made absolute masterpieces. People made movies in a game. LittleBigPlanet 2 was my first introduction to the franchise, and I loved it. I was like 11 years old when I first played it. I loved the charm of the game. The soundtrack, the characters, the narrator. It was my type of game that I like to play. I love creating things, and I still do. The game once again got great reviews, so it would only make sense to make another sequel, right? After LittleBigPlanet 2, Media Molecule wanted to work on something else, and decided to step away from the franchise. So they handed off the development of LittleBigPlanet 3 to a different company called Sumo Digital. Sumo did their best, adding new tools to the game and adding in new playable characters. But the game was plagued with bugs and glitches. The game clearly seemed to be rushed, as it was released around the time near Black Friday. I'm not gonna get into details because then I would get off track and make the video way too long than it already is. But long story short, the game later on suffered from DDoS attacks, which ultimately led to the game's server shutting down. The LittleBigPlanet franchise has been on a decline since then. Around 2012, Media Molecule were working on 2 different games. One of them is a new game called Tearaway, and the other game is something else. We'll get to it soon enough. Tearaway was released on the 20th of November 2013 for the PlayStation Vita, and then got an expanded remake that released on the 8th of September 2015 for the PlayStation 4. Tearaway was a really good game. It was a 3D platformer where everything is made of paper. I recommend you play the game for yourself if you haven't already. Now, what about the second game that they were working on?
We're going to allow you to use the creativity of all of these people to collage and create ever larger sets, game levels, stories, with the simplest possible interface. You just hold your controller and click to assemble your dream.
Dreams was revealed at PlayStation Meeting 2013, and a teaser for the game was released in July of 2014. The game was officially announced at Sony Interactive Entertainment's press conference at E3 2015. A beta for the game was originally gonna be released in 2016, but it was delayed to 2017, and then delayed again to 2018. The beta ran from the 19th of December 2018 until the 4th of February 2019. After the beta was over, an early access was made available on the 16th of April 2019, and then, on Valentine's Day, 14th of February 2020, the game was finally released. It got great reviews, and won awards. Now with all that being said, what is Dreams? Well, to put it this way, Dreams isn't really a video game, it's more of a video game engine. A video game engine for a video game console that anyone can pick up and make a video game. You don't need to have a good PC, you don't need to have an actual game engine, and you don't need a development kit. Because you've got all of that in this game that runs on a console that sounds like a fighter jet. There is another game that did this a couple years prior called Project Spark, which is an Xbox exclusive. But from my research, Dreams provides more tools to create games than Project Spark did. I'm not gonna compare the two games, because I've never played Project Spark before. But if you want to do that, and prove me wrong about what I just said, be my guest. As I have said before, it's a game where you create your own games. Kinda like LittleBigPlanet. It makes sense when you think about it, since both games are developed by the same company. But instead of being limited to making 2D levels, you can make actual 3D games. The game has these flying creatures called imps. They act as your cursor. There isn't much customization, but you can choose different kinds of imps to your liking. You can make whatever you want, 3D models, art, music, sounds, etc.
Did you know that the DualSense controller has a built-in microphone feature? It's true. Now you might assume that it's bad, but it's actually not, it's pretty okay. But the problem with it is that you can hear background noises, so whenever I'm tapping buttons, you can hear it. But that's not the best part. The best part is that it's on by default. So whenever you're playing an online game, you'll always hear someone eating a bag of chips in the background because they don't realize that their microphone is on. And it's not like they care anyways.
You can combine all of that together and make your own masterpiece. The game provides things called chips, which are basically this game's version of coding. If you've got an idea, and are passionate about it, you can make it happen. If you don't know how to, don't worry. The game has got you covered with tutorials on how to create things. And if you need more help, there are plenty of tutorial videos that you can find on YouTube. If you need inspiration or motivation, well, this game has got a game that should do just that. Art's Dream, an example game made by Media Molecule. It's about a musician called Art, who left his band after being slightly criticized.
Tone it down. You're drowning out me and the band.
Tone it down? Why don't you all tone it up? I'm the only one trying here. You want it toned down? Fine. I'm gone.
And then goes on a path to get back with them. The game is a musical with some variety of genres like platformer, beat 'em up, point and click, and it ends with a Cuphead-styled boss fight. The overall message is not to fear of doing what you love, and don't let anyone hold you back. I highly recommend you play Art's Dream for yourself. I promise you it's worthy of your time. The game is made with the intention of you to get inspired. Developers made it with tools provided in Dreams, and you can too. And I don't think this should be surprising, but people made good use with the tools available. So what kind of games do people make on Dreams? Masterpieces. In no particular order, I'm gonna show a few of my favorites and shortly go through some fan games. Starting with Omi Kart, made by Man, Chicken Turtle, and Okratic. It's a kart racer, and a really fun one. Kinda like Mario Kart, I guess. There are 4 characters to choose from. The game has shortcuts, power-ups, drifting, you know, the good stuff. Sadly, this game only has 1 track, but that's okay. This isn't made by an actual video game company with a huge team and budget. It's mainly made by 1 guy, so you gotta cut it some slack. The game reminded me of a PS1 game called Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour. It was my first video game I ever played. I was like 3 or 4 years old when I played that game. So good job, Man, Chicken Turtle, you made a fun racing game. 8 out of 10. Alright, next game.
Bowling with guns.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's bowling, but
with guns.
Made by FishoKid. You can play by yourself, or play the maximum of 5 players, where you pass the controller to the next person when it's their turn. You can also choose your shoe size, from the tiniest to the biggest one where it doesn't fit the screen whatsoever.
You got some big ass feet.
And it plays no effect in the game. The game is pretty simple. You point at where you want to shoot, and then pray that the physics will work in your favor.
7, 10, split. You are screwed.
I swear, the announcer makes this game 10 times more enjoyable, simply because of what he says when you get a spare.
Wow, you hit it, wow LMAO, what a shot, yo AU.
When you get a strike.
Crash Bandicoot.
And when you're choosing your shoe size.
Are you a baby?
If you keep getting strikes, he's got some more good things to say.
Forget about it, get it? 4.
You can get a perfect score of 300, but it's kinda hard, since the physics does whatever it wants. You can point your cursor to where you can get a strike, and then miss 1 or 2 pins on the next one. After playing this game, I finally got a perfect 300. I posted a photo in the game so that everyone can find it and see it. Absolute masterpiece, 11 out of 10. Moving on to the next game. Driftus Maximus 2, a sequel to the first one, made by Carambas MG. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. The sequel is kind of identical to the first one, but with more cars and some new content. It has a city that you can explore and find hidden collectibles. It's got time trial races, drift races, and it ends with a police chase. The game has customization, and great music. It's like the best game ever, basically. I really enjoyed my time playing it, and I gotta say, I really like the main menu song. What is this chill song called? Who made it? And can I use it in videos? The game is a good improvement to the first one, and I'm proud of the guy. 10 out of 10. Please go and support him. He rightfully deserves it. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. I could keep talking about the games made by the community, but I gotta wrap up the video at some point, so I'm gonna briefly go through some fan games. There's so many of them. You got your FNAFs, you've got your Sonics, and you've got your Marios. This got the attention of Nintendo at some point, and said,
It's time for you to type.
A few Dreams creators have claimed to have received copyright notices from Sony about their Nintendo-themed games. In my eyes, Dreams is more fan art than fan games in a lot of cases, because they aren't using models from existing games. These are all assets made completely by scratch, and they're all made within a game, basically within a game. They're not making money off this.
They've got some of the creations removed, but there's still more Mario games on here. The game isn't gonna run short on them, so you've got nothing to worry about. I'd like to talk more about the games on here made by the community, but I'd be here forever. And besides, there's so much to find on here. There are a lot of great creations made by talented people who don't have experience in video game development. There are people out there who have gotten the opportunity to work in the gaming industry thanks to Dreams. So why have people forgotten about it? What happened? Where do I even begin? I guess for starters, We gotta look back at when the game came out. It was around the time when the pandemic was around the corner, and when Dreams was released, a lot of people did play the game. While the sales numbers from its first year aren't publicly available, it is safe to say that it had a strong community. Even big YouTubers played it.
Top of the morning to you laddies, my name is Jacksepticeye and welcome to Dreams, a game I've been really excited about.
What's up gamers? Today we're playing Dreams. It's a game with many games inside of it. That's all I have understood.
Hey guys, here I am with the Dreams game. It pretty much has every game in one, so you pretty much don't have to buy any video games. This is the new Animal Crossing. You have to cross the street as the fox to win the game.
If you have YouTubers playing the game and getting lots of views, then you know for a fact that the game was a success. A lot of people played it and went out to make games on Dreams. There are a lot of good games made by talented people, but just like good people on Earth, they aren't in the majority. So what are in the majority?
This is the plan. Let's steal the moon. We did it!
Two kinds of games: memes and unfinished games.
Oh, these are pretty cool bananas.
Meme games are exactly just that. Memes.
I'm going to fly for you.
There usually isn't a lot of effort made, and if there are, it's because they used creations made by other people. Now, just to be clear here, I like memes. Who doesn't? I don't have a problem with people making memes on Dreams, but there was way too many. And I would know, because I was there when it happened. They were everywhere around 2020, and I do mean everywhere, to a point where meme games got more attention than quality games made by people with passion. And then you've got unfinished games. Games that are available to play as early access. They usually don't provide a lot of content, and end in two ways. The games either never get finished, and are stuck in its early access stage, or take a long time to be fully done, which happens quite rarely. At least with those games, they are usually made by passionate people who are eager to show the community what they are working on. But just like with the meme games, there are way too many of them, more than finished games. Both of those kinds of games made a lot of people leave Dreams, which is sad. Many creators who made games on Dreams slowly stopped playing over time. And just like memes, many players stopped playing Dreams shortly after, and moved on to other games that were trending at the time. Media Molecule stopped supporting the game back in September of 2023. Online servers are still up, however, and they will still continue fixing bugs, doing live streams, and are still engaging with the community. But that's about it. They are now working on a new unannounced project, which is understandable. As a video game company, you've got to make new games to keep the company alive. They've done everything they wanted with Dreams. What more do you want from them? Many people want the game to be on PC, but I see no reason for that. If you want Dreams on PC, go get yourself Unreal Engine 5 and Blender. You can make real games and make money from them. If you don't have a high-end PC, there are other game engines that can work on a laptop. The only thing that Media Molecule can do is make an update for Dreams that allows you to play online with others. They've done it before with LittleBigPlanet. I'm sure they can do the same thing with Dreams. But honestly, even if they did, I don't think it will be enough to save the game. If we want to save Dreams and bring it back to its former glory, then the only way to do it is you. You can save Dreams. Dust off that old copy of Dreams that you have. If you don't own the game, then go and buy it. It's not that expensive. Go play actual quality games made by talented people with passion. Go make your own games. If a lot of you will do that, then it might just save Dreams. It happened before with other video games, and I'm sure it can happen with this game. Give Dreams a second chance. Did you know that Dreams has VR support? It's true.
To the people that don't speak English, it's not onion, it's onion. Onion! Onion! It's still suck with onion! There's onion. There's like onion.
Boy, that's a big onion. Look at that. Woo! It's a 6-pound onion.